Welcome back, guys. Now, as promised, Ian is about to put two top-end gaming mice to the test. I know I always need at least 4 or 5, maybe 6,000 different buttons on my mice. Let's see what these two have to offer.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 4 of Gaming Gear. Today we got a very special episode because we got two products for you. Stay tuned to see what's coming up. So today our episode is not a regular one. We actually have two products going head-to-head against each other. Now they're in the same price category, and that's making it fair. Now they're targeting the same market, which is being fully customizable for people that like to have their own unique product, as well as gaming, because these mice are both being marketed towards gamers. And the whole point behind them is that they have amazing sensors, they have amazing customizability, and they have actually really cool looks. So we're actually going to take a look at that, and we're going to see and compare what they deliver to us as gamers. Now, we can start as usual by unboxing both products and seeing what they have inside. Let's actually look at the hardware and compare the two. We're going to start with the Thermaltake mouse, and the hardware that it brings to the table is rather interesting because this mouse is the first of its kind where the frame of it is made from aluminum. So it's almost like when you're holding it, which is actually part of its design, is acting like a heat sink. So the heat from your hand is going to be actually dissipating into the mouse and spreading through the mouse. And it's going to be keeping your hand cooler. So I did try playing around with it for actually a few hours, and it did seem to actually make it cooler. Now there are actually studies done by other reviewers that took temperature measurements and they took sweat measurements. I don't know how they did that, but they actually say that it does work and it does improve the performance. In terms of the top finish, and we're actually holding the mouse and the grip, the material is got a very nice feel to it, and it is plasticky / rubber. So it's a pleasant feel when you're holding it. Now, as for the actual feet of the mouse, it's made from Teflon. So we actually can see that compared to other mice in this price category, it does have a lot of surface. So when you're sliding it along, it'll feel nice, and it'll feel better than some of the other mice have to offer in this price category. But the other thing about this mouse that is rather weird is that it's fairly heavy. So if you're a big guy and you have big hands and you like these mice to be heavy and kind of using some force when you're pushing it around, great, then this mouse is definitely for you. However, if you're used to having a little finger grip on a light mouse, this is going to be tough because this guy is heavy. It's 185 grams, and but you'll get used to it, and that's part of the design. So we'll see if that's good. Now, when we look at the Rad7 from MadCatz, this mouse is the first thing that stands out is just the weird look. So you're looking at it and you're just like, what is going on here? That is fully intentional because this mouse is intended to be modified and customized in virtually every single direction, angle, and component. Now, there are 3 types, just like with their keyboards. There's the Rad5, 3, and 7. 3 being the least customizable and 7 being the most customizable. So that makes sense, and you're just buying whatever fits you better. But basically the whole point behind this mouse is that you're supposed to make it. So when you get it out of the box, don't expect it to be perfect right away. So this is something you're going to have to play around, adjust, and do a lot of things. But in terms of materials, it is plastic. So if we're talking build quality, the 10M mouse is definitely going to win on this one because this has got a plasticky feel to it, and the buttons, although it is light, the buttons do feel kind of wobbly. Versus this is a solid build quality that you can just feel that it's good and its feel is going to last forever. Probably not, but that's the feel it gives off. With Rad7, I do wish they kind of went with better components in terms of the actual feel and the materials. But again, maybe maybe some other parts of it will make up for it. But in terms of how much can you actually do with these mice in terms of customization, and basically with the 10M, you have 2 ways you can adjust it. You can using the special hole right in the middle over here, using the little tool that they provide. You basically insert the tool in there, and you can bring up this part of the mouse, like the bottom part of it, the base where you resting your hand. You can bring it up or down. So that's that adds kind of an interesting feel because it's important depending on how you grip the mouse, either the palm grip or the the little finger grip that people do, or the claw grip even. Now, the second part that you do is you can actually tilt the, I guess the top part of the mouse 5 degrees left or right. And it doesn't seem like much because 5 degrees, it isn't much. But when it comes to the mouse, or particularly with this design, because you're tilting the top point of it, it's actually quite a lot. So that's interesting. And personally, I like it keeping it just straight with no tilt, but it does change the feel of a mouse a lot. So when you do go one way, it's a big difference. So when it comes to the customization on the RAD7, you get a lot more options than on the 10M. So the first thing that you notice is that you can actually change the length of this mouse by pressing this button and pulling on it slightly, and you can actually right there, you increased, that's probably about an inch. You can go a lot further, but if you keep holding the button, and you can just pull this piece right off, and you can pick between the 3 different palm rests. So you get one that's regular smooth feel, just as the rest of the mouse. You get one that's got a nice rubbery feel, and you get another one that is slightly elevated, that giving the whole palm rest a slightly higher profile. So that's, it's interesting for people that like to just hold their hands in a different way. Now, in addition to customizable palm rest, you actually get 3 customizable and replaceable pinky rests as well, which is really cool, because you get one that's, just standard flat, you get one that is very, extended, and you support for the whole pinky, which is really cool. That's something that this mouse doesn't have completely. Some of us are left-handed, not me, but in terms of when using this mouse for left-handed people, I think RAD7 is definitely targeted towards the right-handed people, because you could use it with your left hand, but everything about this just screams right-handed user to you, because the way it's tilted, the way it's shaped, the way it's pretty much designed is that it's for right-handed users. Whereas for the 10M mouse, we can actually see that it's fairly symmetrical, and again, of course, you can actually see that it's again tilted towards the right-hand users, but the fact that you can tilt the mouse both left and right, and you can adjust the height of it, perhaps if you're left-handed, you can actually make a fairly good use of it. And again, it's definitely better than RAD7 when it comes to left-handed people. So when it comes to software, these mice, they both deliver in that front. We got the software from Thermaltake, and we got the software from MadCatz, and it's absolutely amazing, because with the actual Thermaltake software, you can customize anything you want, from how sensitive the mouse is to sensitivity that's independent on both X and Y axis. That's really cool. That's something not a lot of mouse makers allow you to change, but you can do that. The sensor on this mouse is actually very impressive. It's 8200 DPI, and that's that's far actually above what most people offer, or most manufacturers offer at that price point. And it's very precise, and it's actually amazing if you're doing any kind of design, video editing work, or gaming. This would actually be amazing for you. You do get a lot of other customization options in the software, because you do have LED lights in there that light up, and actually quite a few parts of the mouse. You get the LED light in there, as well as the actual base and the LED there, but you cannot change the color of the actual DPI sensor indicators. The software on the RAD7 is also really good. You can customize all kinds of profiles. You can change the DPI sensor and the sensitivity of the mouse on the fly. Now, this mouse also has something that the designers thought of when you're thinking FPS gamers, is that you got the little sniper button right over here, the red one. And if you hold it down, the sensitivity of the mouse drops by, you can actually change it in the software. So 50%, 60%, whatever you want. But it allows you to basically, when you're scoping in or you're zooming in with something, is to have more precision over your, the mouse control. So that's really cool, and that's amazing to have. So in conclusion, if we do have to pick a winner between these 2 products, and again, personally, if it was up to me, have any of these 2 products on sale, and I'll grab both of them. But if you do have to go with one, and you want to listen to my advice, I would go with mice from Thermaltake. We hope you enjoyed today's segment, and if you have any questions or suggestions, you can hit us up on our Facebook page. My name is Ian Burkowski, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Ian. A very fair comparison, sir. I personally seem to lean towards the RAD7, but hey, that's just me and my big hands. Coming up next, we've got Scott O'Coin, and we're going to talk about cosplay. It's a thing. You know what it is, but stay tuned anyway.